Hey everybody, this is Asher, and I am officially 1 week on testosterone. So I am very excited to be able to share my journey with you. So thank you for coming, and if you like what you see by the end of this video, please hit the like button and or subscribe down below. So 1 week on T, this has been crazy and exciting, and I'm so happy to be able to share it. So my shot went really, really smooth for the first time. I was really nervous about it hurting, but it didn't actually hurt. My nurse was fantastic. She put it, she injected it very nice and slow, and it just felt like pressure. After the fact, it hurt. I could not sit on that side of my bum for for the night, but that was all it was, just for the night. So the next morning and the day after that, there was just a tiny bit of muscle soreness, and then it was over. I didn't have any bad reactions or nothing like that. I can say that it was, I woke up immediately with acne. That was fun. It's finally clearing up. I started a very specific regimen morning and night that has dealt with any coarseness or extra oils, and acne. So I'm actually able now to keep things pretty clear. So hopefully that will continue. I was just kind of looking at I've been tracking everything that changes. I've been trying to do journaling every day just to keep track of how I'm going and what is happening with my moods, or what's happening with my body, or just what my thoughts are like. And that just was something that I wanted to do to track my own progress and see how things go. So I have the videos and I have my journal entries, and then I actually have like a spreadsheet of data on top of that. We'll see how long that lasts. But one of the first thing was like, is there a lower or change in voice? And I don't know if I can hear it myself. I feel things in my chest more, like in this lower section. And I've always had kind of a range where I could talk really high like this, and now that I actually have to struggle to talk that high, my normal range now seems to be in this more weird monotone space that I don't know, if I was in that zone, I'd have to really think about putting my voice down here, and it just sounds really weird. So this standard, like almost neutral middle range is where I'm sitting currently, but I haven't had any voice cracking or anything like that. And a lot of the changes you're not really supposed to have happen in the first week or two, at least on standard injections. But according to the research I did for my Reandron injections, I'm actually tracking pretty on average with what kind of happens. It's almost like some things kind of pick up speed relatively quickly and then mellow out as you start to trough out in the first 5 weeks. And then that's why they give you a loading dose at 6 weeks instead of waiting the full 12, because you go up and then you start to dive. So very sharp. And so then they get you at that 6-week dose mark at the bottom, or somewhat, just as you're starting to go down, picks you right back up, and then you start to kind of stay in that zone over a 12-week period. So, yeah, it sharp increase in things. It happens pretty darn fast, it seems like. You can't tell in the video at all, but I'm already maybe you can. I'm already getting some peach fuzz stuff going on, like all around here. I've always had that though. So it's like, I wonder if because I've always had peach fuzz all throughout here, that maybe my facial hair might grow in a little bit faster than some. Hopefully my genetics will be good for that. I don't know. We'll find out. So there's a little bit of that. And other body hair stuff. Again, I've always been really hairy, but it seems to be darkening a little bit. And I noticed hair like starting on the tops of my hands a little bit. And I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? So it's little things like that are actually pretty cool that I've really enjoyed seeing. Haven't had any hair loss. I don't think my hairline's changed that much yet, but I am keeping very close eye on that. This is one of the things I'm afraid of. bones in my face or facial, fat redistribution or what have you. I don't see any difference. My wife, on the other hand, she's like, no, there's a slight change happening. Trust me. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know about all that. My muscles, though, my muscles are not growing exponentially or anything like that yet. And that makes sense. That's not to be expected whatsoever. However, what I didn't realize, sorry, I was just scrolling down on my list there, was that that the muscles were going to feel harder, like much, much firmer. And I work out 4 or 5 days a week anyway, and I do different muscle groups on different days. And it's just something I've noticed, like my shoulder muscles when I flex are much, much firmer than they were before I started taking testosterone. And that's only been in the last couple of days that I've noticed how firm my muscles are getting. And I feel like my shoulders are actually rolling back into where they're supposed to be. Not that they're broadening, but it's like my back muscles are pulling my shoulders into a good position where now it's like, oh, I'm coming out a little bit more square rather than here. And so that posture change, I think, is what's giving that effect, not broadening shoulders per se or growing muscle. It's just firming up the muscle is what's pulling everything into the position it was probably always supposed to be in. Yeah, acne, all that jazz. General mood's pretty cool. So my general mood before going on testosterone, I'll be completely honest. Mental health is a serious thing, and it needs to be taken seriously, and it shouldn't be downplayed. And I think people need to be more honest about it. And with me in particular, I've suffered from anxiety, depression, and PTSD for a very long time. Anxiety and depression the majority of my life. And sorry, my nose is really itchy. The weather's changing here, so it's making things kind of nuts. But generally, after I got on medication and I got all of those levels kind of dealt with, I would say that I went from like generally a 2 or 3 on the mood scale, where 1 being depressed and 10 being really not depressed. So when I went on medication and I was the right medication and we got all of that kind of squared away, I was sitting at like a 5 or a 6 in my mood, on that scale, 1 to 10. Since starting T, it was almost immediate, like next day, almost immediate. And I don't know if it's from the testosterone itself or if it's from like knowing that this journey has finally started or what have you. It could be a mix of things. And I have found that I'm at like a 7 most of the time, like a 7 with the opportunities for like an 8. And if I'm down, it's like a 6, but it isn't anywhere near like that 2-3 range. It's nowhere even near a 4. I have noticed my irritability, like for a couple of days, was like I could go from 0 to 70 really quick, whereas before I could stop myself at about 30. But I have the coping skills. I have what I feel like is the maturity to handle those situations and just be like, whew, okay, I need to calm down. I need to breathe. I need to walk away. Just chill out. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just taking those opportunities and trying to be gentle with myself, which I encourage anyone to do, is to be gentle with yourself when you're going through anything like this, especially a second puberty. We have to be gentle and just let the people around you know, hey, I'm having a really hard time with my, emotional regulation today. Please just give me some patience and I'll do what I can to, reduce that affecting you, and if that's walking away or what have you. My wife and I already had a little blunder with that, where I walked away, but I didn't tell her I was walking away. And that's important too, is being able to, even though you're agitated, to communicate it. And she hadn't upset me. I was just irrationally upset about the whole day that I had up until that point. And I was just like, and I just need to walk away. And so I did. I came back. She was like, just tell me next time that you're going to walk away. And I was like, okay, my bad. I'll do that. So it's things like that. And I'm happy and she's happy and the people around me, they're happy for me. My mother, again, super supportive. Other friends and family, super supportive. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you very, very much for all of that love and all of that support. And for those of you out there who don't have that don't get the opportunity to have that, my heart goes out to you. And the best thing I can do is just say, to keep true to yourself and just be who you are. And the more confident you are in who you know yourself to be, they will come around, because people do love you and they do care about you and they do just want what's best for you, and they want you to be happy. And sometimes it just takes them some time to get kind of past their own grief or experience of the change, because they're changing right along with you. And we want that support, we need that support, but in some ways they need that too. And so we have to try and do our best to give that kind of grace to the people that are outside of us, that are looking in and just wanting to make sure, is my child going to be okay? Is the world going to make things really hard for them? Like, these are the concerns a lot of times. So just keep that in mind. If people have a hard reaction, a lot of times it's actually because they love you, not that they hate you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe below, and have a great day. Love you guys.